Good morning, guys. It's Paul from 16 Snail doing a Racer X lateral linkage install today, as well as getting some new shoes put on this thing. Unfortunately, two of them aren't here yet, so I'm gonna have to do the rears first, and then once the fronts come, do the fronts. That should happen today, but let me show you what we got. Got some really cool BBS wheels, LMRs, on some Toyo Proxies. Shout out to Mario at Golden Wrench. These were on his SEMA build. I snagged them off of him. Solid wheel choice, made in that bronze finish with the polished lip, offsets plus 25, 19 inches. So, you know, I'll give the specific specs later on, but we're gonna get these onto her, and we'll see how she looks. Things first, for safety, I'm jacking up the rear first, so I'm going to chalk the front wheels. It is in gear and the e-brake is up. Extra precaution. I'm going to loosen up the lugs on all four tires, even though I'm doing the rears first, and then I'm going to do the fronts once they arrive. And then your rear jack point is going to be underneath by your exhaust. You should see this piece right here behind the exhaust, right there. Hard to get. That piece right there, that should be where you should be able to jack up the rear. I have a pad on my low profile extended jack. That should really help keep things from putting too much stress on anything. The reference should be a 21 millimeter. It also looks like maybe if you have standard, a 13/16 would fit. But I'm going with the 21 millimeter on this one. Try to get yourself a set of the lug nut sockets. These are a 1/2 inch drive. Okay, so for me, I have Mishimoto wheel spacers. I got 25 millimeter in the rear with the stock 10 spacer removed, and I have 15 millimeters up front. I'm gonna be taking those off because Mario ran these with just the stock studs and the stock 10 spacer in the rear. I do have Moteki open-ended lugs. I'll show you what those look like here. But he ran it stock studs. I do have ARP extended studs just in case. But here are the open-ended lugs right here. And supposedly these get enough thread engagement for your 80 foot-pounds of torque. So we're gonna see how these look and how these get the torque when it gets on, and make sure that we get at least, you know, 7 threads of engagement. Should be all good, but let's see. Yep, take that rear wheel spacer off. Say, time to put the stock one back on.
To put the stock one back on.
All right, I'm halfway there. Stock one's in the front, BBS LMR's in the rear. Camera doesn't really do him justice with the gold. You really have to see him in person, but damn. I think it's gonna look sick. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, whether you like this wheel setup or not. I know it's hard to tell without the front ones on, but these are 19s by 9.5 plus 25s. Stock 10 spacer on, Moteki open-ended lugs. Seem to seat, you know, 9 turns, and I haven't really torqued them yet to the 80 foot-pounds, so we'll get the front ones on and show you what it looks like. All right, I'm here with Harper. She's gonna help me do the front wheels on the GR Corolla, now that we have them from UPS. So we already loosened up the 19 millimeter lug nuts. She helped me jack it up, wave high. Let's get these on. All right, so how I jack up the front of this car is I put it up on these Megan Racing low profile race ramps. They're really good. I drive it up on that, and then you can see right underneath, if you guys have ever done a pitch mount, the main back bolt of your pitch mount, that's the main center jacking point between the cross member brace. You want to jack it up from there. You're going to need like a long low profile jack like what I have, but that's how I jack up the front. Obviously, after loosening up the lug nuts, we're going to go ahead and finish taking these lug nuts off, swap out the wheels, and then we're going to re-torque with 80 foot-pounds of torque, drop it down and see how it looks. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, I have the Mishimoto wheel spacers for my stock wheels. These are the 15 millimeters in the front. You're gonna have to take off, obviously, your wheel spacer nuts if you have these on there. I'm using a 19 millimeter. That seems to be taking them off. I don't know if that's the right size, but it's loosening them up. Then usually not on there too tight. So Yeah, go ahead and take those off if you have wheel spacers. If you need some, hit us up on 16nail.com. We got the Mishimoto ones too. All right, new wheels are on. BBS LMRs 19 by 9.5 plus 25. Pitch mount makes my Tomy exhaust shake like a mofo. But I think the wheels look good. I think they look real good. No extended lugs needed on this setup, which is nice. One last thing to do, you got to go into your settings and you got to program your second tire pressure monitor sensors. So I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so to get you to your tire pressure monitor sensors, you're going to hold the OK button down, you're going to scroll down to settings, you're going to click on settings, you're going to scroll down to vehicle settings, and you're going to long press OK. Then you're going to scroll down to TPMS setting, and you're going to do tire set switching, and you're going to do register new valve ID, and then you're going to change it to your second set. You're going to hit OK, and then you're going to drive, and it's going to register them. Thank you guys for watching the install video of the wheels. If you haven't liked and subscribe down below. We're trying to grow the channel a little bit, so that way you guys can get some good information on some GR Corolla installs. Looking forward to expanding out to the GR86 more. I don't have one, and neither does Mark, and the GR Supra, so we're looking for a couple of people that have those vehicles so we can start to get some install videos on some products on those cars as well. So more to come on that, and I know Toyota is going to be putting out the MR2 and the Celica, so I'm looking forward to that. Again, go to 16nail. If you don't buy anything from us, totally fine. Join the community page though, post your build there. We like to get inspiration from other builds, as they're all unique to yourself. So you know how I end this: drive fast, take chances. 16nail.com.